What if I told you the thing most likely to steal your independence, your memories, and even your life could be waiting for you tomorrow morning? You might wake up thinking it's just another day. The sun's coming through the window. You pour your coffee. But then, your vision blurs. Your arm feels heavy. And before you even realize what's happening, your entire life has changed. Every 40 seconds, someone in America has a stroke. For seniors over 60, the odds skyrocket, and once it strikes, you have minutes, not hours, to fight back. The cruel part, most strokes are silent until it's too late. That's why today I'm giving you 50 critical stroke prevention tips every senior must know. Starting with the foods that protect your brain, the habits that keep your blood flowing, and the silent dangers hiding in your daily routine. Because after this video, you'll never look at your mornings the same way again. If you've just heard that opening and you're thinking, that's scary, but what can I do about it? Here's the good news. Every bite you take can either move you closer to a stroke or pull you further away from it. Think about it. Your blood vessels are like tiny highways carrying oxygen to your brain 24/7. The food you choose is the traffic controller. It can keep the road smooth and open, or it can let dangerous blockages form. So let's start with what goes on your plate, because what you eat today can decide how sharp, mobile, and independent you'll be in the years to come. 1. Eat fatty fish rich in omega-3s, 2 to 3 times a week. Let's be clear, not all fats are bad. The fats in salmon, mackerel, and sardines are called omega-3 fatty acids, and they're like oil for your brain's gears. They lower inflammation, keep your arteries flexible, and reduce the sticky clots that can block blood flow to your brain. In fact, a study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people eating fish at least twice a week had a 27% lower risk of stroke compared to those who rarely ate it. For seniors with heart rhythm issues like atrial fibrillation, omega-3s also help regulate heartbeat, lowering clot risk even further. Easy way to start. Buy canned sardines in water or wild-caught salmon fillets. Bake, grill, or poach them. Avoid deep frying. And remember, frozen fish has the same benefits as fresh, often at a lower price. 2. Add leafy greens to your plate. Every single day. Spinach, kale, arugula, they're not just salad fillers. These greens are loaded with vitamin K, which protects blood vessel walls, folate, which keeps your blood flowing smoothly, and potassium, which helps keep blood pressure in check. One large study in the journal Stroke found that people who ate the most leafy greens had a 20% lower risk of ischemic stroke, the type caused by a clot. If raw salads are tough on your teeth or digestion, steam your greens lightly, add a drizzle of olive oil, and serve them with a squeeze of lemon. Even 1 cup of cooked greens a day can make a measurable difference in your brain's health. 3. Enjoy berries 2 to 3 times a week. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, they may look small, but they're packed with anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that protect the brain's tiniest blood vessels from damage. A Harvard study of 93,000 women found that eating berries at least 3 times a week was linked to a 34% lower risk of heart attack, and the same protective effects extend to stroke. Senior-friendly tip. Keep a bag of frozen berries in your freezer. Add them to oatmeal in the morning, blend into yogurt, or eat a small bowl as a sweet, healthy dessert. 4. Eat avocado 2 to 3 times a week for healthy fats. Avocados aren't just trendy, they're brain food. They're loaded with monounsaturated fats that lower bad LDL cholesterol, potassium that balances sodium levels, and folate that keeps homocysteine, a clot-promoting compound, under control. Here's something you might not know. 1 medium avocado has more potassium than a banana, and that can make a big difference for blood pressure, the #1 cause of stroke. How to enjoy it. Spread avocado on whole grain toast, dice it into salads, or blend it into a smoothie. Stick to half an avocado per serving to get the benefits without adding too many calories. 5. Use extra virgin olive oil. Instead of butter may taste great, but its saturated fats can clog your arteries over time. Extra virgin olive oil, EVOO, on the other hand, is rich in heart-healthy fats and antioxidants that actually protect your arteries. In the famous pre-DIME study, people who used olive oil daily had a 30% lower risk of heart attack and stroke than those on a low-fat diet. How to swap. Drizzle olive oil over salads, steamed vegetables, or use it for light sautéing. Just store it in a dark bottle away from heat to preserve its nutrients. 6. Eat a handful of nuts every day. Walnuts, almonds, and flax seeds aren't just snacks. They're like a daily vitamin for your blood vessels. Walnuts, for example, are one of the richest plant sources of omega-3 ALA, which reduces inflammation and helps keep your arteries flexible. In a study from Circulation, seniors who ate a handful of nuts at least 5 times a week had a 20% lower risk of cardiovascular disease. Simple way to start. Keep a small jar of unsalted nuts where you can see them. Eat about 1 ounce, a small handful, daily. If chewing is difficult, try ground flax seeds in yogurt or oatmeal. 7. Choose oats or whole grains for breakfast. Your brain needs steady fuel, and whole grains provide it without the sugar spikes that damage blood vessels over time. Oats, quinoa, and whole wheat bread are high in soluble fiber, which helps lower LDL cholesterol and supports stable blood sugar. The American Heart Association notes that just 3 grams of soluble fiber a day can reduce bad cholesterol by up to 10%. That's about the amount in 1 bowl of oatmeal. Morning routine tip. Add berries and a sprinkle of cinnamon to your oats for an extra antioxidant boost. Avoid instant flavored oatmeal. It's often loaded with added sugar. 8. Add beans and lentils to your meals 2 to 3 times a week. Black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, lentils. They're packed with fiber, potassium, and plant protein, all proven to help regulate blood pressure and improve circulation. In fact, a Journal of Nutrition study found that people who ate beans regularly saw a 5 to 6 millimeter mercury drop in systolic blood pressure, enough to lower stroke risk significantly. Easy swap. Add lentils to soups, make bean salads, or use hummus as a spread instead of mayonnaise. Canned beans work fine. Just rinse them to remove excess salt. 9. Drink green or white tea instead of sugary drinks. If soda is your go-to, here's the problem. The sugar rush damages blood vessel linings, raises inflammation, and can spike blood pressure. Green and white teas, on the other hand, are rich in catechins, antioxidants that improve blood flow and protect your brain's tiny capillaries. One Japanese study found that seniors who drank 2 to 3 cups of green tea daily had a 20% lower risk of stroke than those who drank less. How to make the switch. Brew a pot in the morning and sip it throughout the day. If caffeine bothers you, go for decaf green tea. It still has the beneficial antioxidants. 10. Keep sodium under 1,500 milligrams a day. Salt is sneaky. Even if you don't shake it onto your food, it's hiding in bread, canned soups, and frozen meals. Too much sodium stiffens your arteries and raises blood pressure, the #1 cause of stroke. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warns that 9 out of 10 Americans eat more sodium than recommended, and lowering intake by just 1,000 milligrams per day could prevent tens of thousands of strokes each year. Smart habit. Read labels carefully. Choose low-sodium products, 140 milligrams or less per serving. Season food with herbs and spices instead of salt, and avoid processed meats like bacon and deli slices. We've covered Part 1. Nutrition first. The foods that act like daily medicine for your brain. But here's the hard truth. You can eat all the salmon and blueberries you want, and still be at high risk for stroke if your daily habits are silently working against you. That's where Part 2, lifestyle and activity, comes in. These aren't extreme workouts or complicated routines. They're realistic, science-backed habits that anyone over 60 can fit into daily life. And they can literally keep you walking, thinking, and living independently for years longer. 1. Walk briskly for 30 minutes a day, at least 5 days a week. Walking is one of the simplest, yet most powerful, ways to cut your stroke risk. According to the Harvard School of Public Health, people who walk briskly for at least 30 minutes a day have a 27% lower risk of stroke compared to those who are inactive. For seniors, brisk means you can still talk, but you'd be too winded to sing. Can't manage 30 minutes at once? Break it up into 3 10-minute walks, after breakfast, after lunch, and before dinner. Even these shorter walks improve blood flow, lower blood pressure, and help maintain healthy blood sugar. And here's something important. Walking outdoors also exposes you to sunlight, which boosts vitamin D, another nutrient linked to better heart and brain health. 2. Do strength training 2 to 3 times a week to keep leg muscles strong. Most people think strength training is only for younger folks, but after 60, it becomes essential. Your calf and thigh muscles act like a second heart, helping pump blood back to your brain. Lose that muscle, and you increase the risk of circulation problems and blood clots. A study in the Journal of Aging Research found that older adults who did simple strength exercises twice a week, like chair squats, step-ups, or lifting light weights, not only lowered their blood pressure, but also improved walking speed and balance. The payoff? Better circulation, steadier movement, and fewer falls. And falls aren't just about broken bones. They can cause brain bleeds or trigger clots that lead to stroke. 3. Practice balance exercises, Tai Chi or yoga, to prevent falls. In America, falls are the leading cause of traumatic brain injury in seniors, and head injuries can directly cause or worsen a stroke. The good news? Balance can be trained, just like muscle. Tai Chi, for example, is a slow, controlled movement practice that has been shown in the British Journal of Sports Medicine to cut fall risk in seniors by up to 50%. Yoga, especially gentle chair yoga, works too, improving coordination, flexibility, and focus. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day of balance training can help you walk more confidently, reduce anxiety about falling, and keep your independence. 4th stretch in the morning and evening. Why stretch? Because stiff muscles and tight arteries in the morning can contribute to what doctors call the morning blood pressure surge, a dangerous spike in pressure that can trigger a stroke. Gentle morning stretches, like shoulder rolls, neck tilts, or ankle circles, improve blood flow and wake up your nervous system. In the evening, stretching helps relax your muscles and calm your heart rate, setting you up for deeper, more restorative sleep. Sleep itself is a stroke protector. The American Heart Association warns that poor sleep raises the risk of high blood pressure, obesity, and diabetes, all major stroke drivers. 5. Stand up and move. Every 30 to 40 minutes. If you've been sitting long periods of sitting, whether watching TV, reading, or on the computer, slow your circulation and allow blood to pool in your legs. This increases the risk of deep vein thrombosis, DVT, clots that can break off and travel to the brain, causing an ischemic stroke. Researchers from the American Journal of Epidemiology found that adults who sat more than 10 hours a day had a 147% higher risk of cardiovascular events compared to those who sat less than 4 hours. You don't have to run laps around your living room. Just stand, stretch, and walk a few steps every half hour. Even this small movement resets your circulation. 6. Do light housework or gardening. To keep your body moving, activity doesn't have to mean exercise class. Chores like sweeping the floor, folding laundry, or tending to your garden all keep your body active and your blood circulating. In fact, a study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that seniors who spent at least 30 minutes a day on light household tasks had up to a 24% lower risk of dying from heart disease or stroke compared to those who did very little. Gardening is especially powerful. The squatting, bending, and lifting engages both leg and core muscles, and the fresh air helps reduce stress, which in itself lowers stroke risk. 7. Take a short walk after meals to help control blood sugar. Your body's blood sugar naturally rises after eating, and high blood sugar damages blood vessels over time, making them more prone to clots and blockages. But research from the Diabetologia Journal shows that just 10 to 15 minutes of walking after a meal can lower post-meal blood sugar by up to 22%. For stroke prevention, this is huge, especially if you have type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. Even a slow stroll around your living room or driveway counts. The key is movement. It helps your muscles pull sugar out of your bloodstream and use it for energy instead of letting it damage your arteries. 8. Join a group exercise class to stay motivated. Here's the truth. It's easier to skip exercise when you're on your own. But when others are expecting you, you're far more likely to show up. Whether it's water aerobics at the community center, a walking club at the park, or chair yoga at your local senior center, group activity has two benefits. It keeps you moving and it keeps you socially connected. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, notes that seniors with strong social ties live longer, have lower rates of depression, and maintain better brain health. All factors tied to lower stroke risk. 9. Choose stairs instead of the elevator when you can. It may not sound like much, but climbing stairs gives your heart and legs a burst of activity that boosts circulation. The European Society of Cardiology reported that climbing just 3 to 5 flights of stairs a day can improve cardiovascular fitness and lower cholesterol, both protective against stroke. You don't have to sprint. Just take it at a steady pace, holding the railing if needed. Over time, this small choice strengthens your heart, improves lung function, and keeps your arteries flexible. 10. Avoid overexertion. If you have heart problems, exercise is medicine, but too much can be harmful, especially if you have existing heart disease or uncontrolled high blood pressure. Overexertion can spike your blood pressure, trigger irregular heart rhythms, and in some cases, lead directly to a stroke. The American College of Cardiology advises seniors with heart conditions to aim for moderate activity, where you can still speak in full sentences, rather than intense, breathless workouts. Listen to your body. Sudden dizziness, chest pain, or shortness of breath are warning signs to stop and rest. The goal is consistency, not exhaustion. 11. Get 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every night. Sleep isn't just rest. It's the time your body repairs blood vessels, balances hormones, and clears waste from your brain. According to the American Heart Association, getting less than 6 hours of sleep a night is linked to a 20% higher risk of stroke in older adults. The key word here is quality. If you wake up often, snore heavily, or toss and turn, your sleep may not be doing its job. Try keeping a consistent bedtime, making your bedroom cool and dark, and avoiding screens at least 30 minutes before bed. 12. Get tested and treated for sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is when you stop breathing for short periods during the night, sometimes dozens or even hundreds of times, which lowers oxygen to your brain. It's one of the most dangerous and underdiagnosed stroke risks in seniors. The National Sleep Foundation reports that untreated sleep apnea doubles your risk of stroke. Warning signs include loud snoring, gasping for air during sleep, and waking up tired even after a full night's rest. A simple sleep study can diagnose it, and treatment, often with a CPAP machine, can protect your brain and heart almost immediately. 13. Quit smoking. Completely smoking is like pouring gasoline on the fire of stroke risk. It damages blood vessels, thickens your blood, and raises blood pressure. Even one cigarette a day can significantly increase your chances of a stroke. The good news? The body starts repairing itself almost immediately after quitting. The CDC notes that within 5 years of quitting, your stroke risk drops to that of a non-smoker. If you've been smoking for decades, stopping now still offers powerful benefits. 14. Limit alcohol, no more than 1. Drink a day for women, 2 for men. A little alcohol might relax you, but too much raises blood pressure, triggers irregular heart rhythms, and can cause weight gain, all of which fuel stroke risk. The American Stroke Association recommends keeping it to women, 1 drink per day, men, 2 drinks per day. And remember, 1 drink means 5 ounces of wine, 12 ounces of beer, or 1.5 ounces liquor, not a full wine glass filled to the brim. 15. Manage stress with meditation or deep breathing. Chronic stress isn't just in your head. It keeps your blood pressure elevated and increases inflammation in your arteries. Over time, that's like sandpaper, scraping the inside of your blood vessels, making clots more likely. Even 5 minutes of slow, deep breathing can calm your nervous system and lower blood pressure. Meditation, gentle yoga, or simply sitting quietly and focusing on your breath each day can have. 17. Avoid staying up too late on a regular basis. Consistently going to bed past midnight can throw off your body's natural rhythm, your circadian clock, which regulates blood pressure, hormone balance, and blood sugar levels. Research from the European Heart Journal found that people who consistently went to bed between 10 and 11 p.m. had a 25% lower risk of heart disease and stroke compared to those with much later bedtimes. In short, earlier, consistent bedtimes know healthier blood vessels. 18. Keep a regular daily routine. Your brain and body thrive on predictability. Waking, eating, exercising, and sleeping around the same time every day helps regulate blood pressure and reduces stress on your cardiovascular system. For seniors, a stable daily routine has also been shown to improve cognitive function and reduce the risk of depression, both of which are important for maintaining independence. 19. Limit exposure to negative news and media. It might sound unrelated, but constant exposure to stressful, fear-driven news can raise your cortisol, stress hormone levels, and keep blood pressure elevated. Over time, that extra pressure can damage arteries and increase stroke risk. Try setting boundaries. Check the news once or twice a day instead of having it on constantly. Replace some of that time with music, light reading, or even short walks. Your brain will thank you. 20. Stay socially connected. Isolation is more than just lonely. It's dangerous for your health. The National Institute on Aging reports that loneliness increases the risk of stroke and heart disease at rates similar to smoking or obesity. Make it a priority to join social activities, a local senior center, walking group, church gatherings, or even regular video calls with friends and family. These connections help lower stress, encourage physical activity, and give you a stronger sense of purpose, all of which protect your brain. In Part 2, we talked about how moving more, sleeping well, and staying socially engaged can keep your brain healthier for years. But here's something every senior needs to understand. Even the healthiest habits can't protect you if silent medical risks are quietly building inside your body. The truth is, most strokes don't happen out of nowhere. They're often the end result of months, or years of changes in your blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and circulation. The good news: these are numbers you can track, control, and improve with the help of your healthcare team. So let's talk about the medical checkpoints every senior should watch like a hawk. These are your early warning signals, and if you keep them in the safe range, you slash your stroke risk before it ever has a chance to strike. 1. Check your blood pressure at least twice a week. High blood pressure is the #1 cause of stroke in America, especially for people over 60. The dangerous part? It usually has no symptoms until damage is already done. That's why you need to check it regularly, not just when you're at the doctor's office. Use a reliable home monitor, wrist or upper arm style, and take readings at least twice a week. Sit quietly for 5 minutes before measuring. Keep your feet flat on the floor and take 2 readings a minute apart, then average them. If you ever see a sudden spike, for example, your top number, systolic, jumps 20 points higher than usual, write it down and call your doctor. Morning readings are especially important because a morning surge in blood pressure is linked to a higher risk of stroke between 6 a.m. and noon. 2. Keep blood pressure under 120/80 millimeters of mercury, if possible. The American Heart Association says below 120/80 is ideal for most healthy adults, unless your doctor sets a different target for you. Why so strict? Research shows that for every 10-point increase in systolic pressure above 120, your risk of stroke goes up about 20%. Normal, below 120/80. Elevated, 120 to 129. Over under 80 high blood pressure, 130/80 or above. If your readings stay high, your doctor may adjust your medication, check your salt intake, or look for other issues like kidney problems or sleep apnea. 3. Get your blood sugar checked regularly, including HbA1c. Every 3 to 6 months. Even if you don't have diabetes, high blood sugar damages blood vessels, including those in your brain. One of the best ways to track this is the HbA1c test. It measures your average blood sugar over the last 2 to 3 months, not just one day. The breakdown: normal, below 5.7%, prediabetes 5.7% to 6.4%, diabetes 6.5% or higher. If you have prediabetes or diabetes, most doctors recommend testing every 3 months. If your numbers are stable and in the normal range, every 6 months may be enough. 4. Keep fasting blood sugar under 100 milligrams per deciliter. A fasting blood sugar test, done after not eating for 8 hours, gives a clear picture of your baseline glucose level. For most seniors, normal, under 100 milligrams per deciliter. Prediabetes, 100 to 125 milligrams per deciliter. Diabetes, 126 milligrams per deciliter or higher on 2 separate tests. High blood sugar causes glycation, a chemical reaction that makes your blood vessels stiff and narrow, the perfect setup for a clot that can cause a stroke. 5. Monitor your cholesterol levels. Yearly, total LDL and HDL cholesterol itself isn't the enemy. Your brain actually needs it to function. But too much LDL, bad cholesterol, or too little HDL, good cholesterol, makes it easier for fatty plaque to clog the arteries that carry blood to your brain. A yearly lipid panel will show total cholesterol. Aim for under 200 milligrams per deciliter. LDL cholesterol, under 100 milligrams per deciliter, under 70 if you already have heart disease. HDL cholesterol, over 50 milligrams per deciliter for women, over 40 milligrams per deciliter for men. If your LDL is too high, it can slowly narrow your carotid arteries, the main highways, delivering blood to your brain. That narrowing can lead to a blockage and a stroke. 6. Maintain a healthy weight. Aim for a BMI between 18.5 and 24.9 body mass index. BMI isn't perfect, but it's still a useful tool for spotting stroke risk. Carrying extra weight, especially around your middle, increases your chances of high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart disease, all major stroke drivers. For most seniors, a BMI between 18.5 and 24.9 is considered healthy. Your doctor can calculate it for you, or you can use your weight and height in an online BMI calculator. Here's the risk. A BMI over 30, obesity, can double your risk of ischemic stroke, the kind caused by a blood clot. 7. Keep an eye on your waist size. Waist circumference is one of the best predictors of heart and stroke risk because it reflects dangerous visceral fat stored deep around your organs. The National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute recommends: men, waist under 40 inches. Women, waist under 35 inches. Even if your weight is in the normal range, too much belly fat can raise inflammation, disrupt hormones, and make blood clots more likely. 8. Monitor your heart rate and rhythm regularly. An irregular heartbeat, especially atrial fibrillation, AFib, is a leading cause of stroke in seniors. AFib causes blood to pool in the heart, where it can form clots that travel to the brain. Check your pulse at least once a week by placing 2 fingers on your wrist or neck and counting beats for 60 seconds. If your heartbeat feels irregular or unusually fast, or you notice fluttering in your chest, see your doctor immediately. Studies show that AFib increases your stroke risk 5-fold, but treatment can dramatically lower it. 9. Get a comprehensive physical every year. A yearly checkup is your chance to catch silent problems early. During a full exam, your doctor can check your blood pressure, heart rhythm, cholesterol, blood sugar, kidney function, and more, all of which tie directly to stroke risk. Many seniors avoid yearly exams if they feel fine, but that's exactly when you should go, before symptoms appear. Remember, about 80% of strokes are preventable with early detection and lifestyle changes. 10. Track and discuss all your numbers with your doctor. Don't just get the tests, keep a record. Write down your blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and weight every time you check them, and bring that list to your appointments. This gives your doctor a full picture of your trends, making it easier to spot early warning signs and adjust your plan before trouble starts. We've covered how to manage your health numbers and keep risk factors under control. But here's the hard truth. Even with perfect prevention, a stroke can still happen. When it does, the clock starts ticking, and your brain is on the line. Doctors call it the golden hour, but in reality, you have minutes, not hours, to act. That's why the next step in protecting yourself is being ready before it strikes. These are the emergency tools and knowledge that can save your life. 1. Learn the fast signs of a stroke and practice them. FAST-O is an easy way to remember the most common warning signs. Face drooping. Ask the person to smile. If one side looks uneven or droops, that's a red flag. Arm weakness. Ask them to lift both arms. If one arm drifts down or feels weak, take it seriously. Speech difficulty. Ask them to repeat a simple sentence like, "It's sunny today." If words are slurred or they can't repeat it, that's a sign. Time to call 911. Don't wait to see if it gets better. Every second counts. The American Stroke Association warns that 1.9 million brain cells die every minute during a stroke. Acting fast can mean the difference between walking out of the hospital and living with lifelong disability. 2. Keep 911 at your fingertips. Literally, when a stroke happens, you may have trouble moving, speaking, or even thinking clearly. That's why calling 911 must be as easy as possible. On a cell phone, put 911 on your home screen or speed dial. On a landline, keep a phone near your bed, in the kitchen, and in your main living area. For extra safety, consider a wearable medical alert device or smartwatch with an emergency button. A CDC study found that most stroke deaths in seniors happen before they reach the hospital, often because help wasn't called in time. 3. Make sure your family and friends know the signs. You might not recognize you're having a stroke, but someone near you could. That's why you need to teach the FAST signs to your spouse, children, neighbors, and even friends at church or social clubs. Here's a tip. Print the FAST guide from the American Heart Association and post it on your fridge. Practice what they should do. Call 911 immediately. Stay with you until help arrives. Write down the exact time symptoms began. Doctors use this to decide on life-saving treatments like TPA, clot-busting medicine, which must be given within 3 to 4.5 hours. Always carry your medical information. If you can't speak during a stroke, paramedics need quick access to your medical history. You can. Wear a medical ID bracelet with your name, conditions, medications, and allergies. Keep a laminated card in your wallet or purse with emergency contacts and doctor info. Store your information in a medical ID app on your phone's lock screen, so EMTs can read it without a password. This can save precious minutes in the ER, where time is brain. 5. Know the nearest certified stroke center. Before you need it. Not all hospitals are the same when it comes to stroke treatment. A primary stroke center or comprehensive stroke center has 24/7 access to neurologists, advanced brain imaging, and treatments that can reverse a stroke if caught in time. You can search for the nearest certified center on the American Stroke Association website. Write down the name and address and share it with family members. If you live in a rural area, know which EMS services can take you there directly. Research shows patients treated at certified stroke centers are more likely to survive and recover without severe disability compared to those taken to non-specialized hospitals. 6. Never drive yourself if you suspect a stroke. One of the biggest mistakes seniors make is trying to tough it out and drive themselves to the hospital. Here's the danger. A stroke can affect your vision, coordination, and ability to think clearly, all while you're behind the wheel. You could lose control mid-drive, putting yourself and others in danger. Instead, call 911 immediately. Paramedics can start treatment on the way and take you directly to a certified stroke center, saving up to an hour of precious time compared to driving yourself. 7. Check your blood pressure. Immediately if you feel dizzy, weak, or nauseous. A sudden spike in blood pressure can be an early warning of a stroke. If you feel lightheaded, your speech feels off, or your arm suddenly weakens, check your blood pressure right away. If it's 180 over 120 millimeters of mercury or higher, that's a hypertensive crisis. Call 911 without delay. Having a home blood pressure monitor is one of the simplest, most powerful tools you can own for stroke prevention. 8. Keep emergency medications and instructions ready. If your doctor has prescribed blood thinners, heart rhythm medications, or emergency treatments, keep them where you can reach them day or night. Store them in a labeled container and make sure family members know where they are. While you should never try to self-treat a stroke, having the right medications accessible for other heart issues, like AFib episodes, can reduce your overall risk before an emergency happens. 9. Get regular checkups for stroke-linked conditions. Many health problems silently raise your stroke risk. Atrial fibrillation, irregular heartbeat, diabetes, carotid artery disease, narrowing in neck arteries. Your doctor can detect these during routine visits, sometimes with simple tests like an EKG, ultrasound, or blood work. Catching them early gives you the best chance to treat them before they cause damage. 10. Ask your doctor about your personal stroke risk at every appointment. Don't assume your doctor will always bring it up. At each checkup, ask, "Given my health history, what's my stroke risk right now? Are there new treatments or screenings I should consider?" This keeps stroke prevention front and center and ensures you're always working with the latest information for your age and condition. You've just learned 50 different ways to protect yourself from one of the most dangerous threats after age 60. Some of these tips may seem small, a handful of walnuts, a morning walk, checking your blood pressure, but together They form a shield around your brain, your body, and your independence. Remember, a stroke doesn't just happen to other people. Every 40 seconds, someone in America has a stroke. And for many, it's not the first warning that's the problem. It's the last. You can't change the past, but you can take control of today. Every healthy meal you eat, every step you take, every number you track, every sign you recognize, that's you buying more time with the people you love. So here's my challenge to you. Pick 3 tips from this list and start them today. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Because every habit you build now is an investment in years you'll be glad to have later. Your brain is worth protecting. Your independence is worth fighting for. And your life, your laughter, your stories, your mornings, is worth every single effort you make.